You may have heard it said that you should not trade if your mood is not right. Why does that matter? Well, I'll be talking about that in this video, so don't miss it. Hi, this is Tim from TradingStrategyGuides.com. Thanks for the welcome back, guys. But I know you can do better than this. Are you interested in how to go about testing your strategies? I've got about 100 likes and 30 comments from interested traders on Wednesday's video, which means we're almost halfway there. But I need to see 200 likes and 75 comments. How about jumping back over to that video and bumping those likes and comments up so I can do this thing? You can see a card with a link for the video in the upper right hand corner of this video, and I'll add a link in the description below. Let's do this. What does your brain have to do with trading anyway? Other than the obvious, of course. Maybe I should say, what does your mood have to do with trading? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about today, so don't miss it. And I've got a nice weekly trade set up on Planet Fitness to show you. And finally, we have a setup with which Casey can demonstrate his options trading. We'll look at his short video in just a bit. But first, we've got a few charts to go over. Then later on, a new trading maxim. It's Friday, baby, so let's go for it. Remember to click the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss any of this cool stuff about mindset. Let's take a look at some charts. Wow, this US dollar Mexican peso trade is getting tediously long. That's what I get for trading weekly targets, I guess. Anyway, it's made a lower low this week, so progress was made. Still looking for the 1866.77 target right here. The Euro Swissy is still moving nicely. For those who haven't been around, we hit the first target right here. Closed half and set the stop to break even. Then we waited about 9 days for the parabolic SAR to get down below our break even stop so we could update our trailing stop. Now we're moving the trailing stop each day as we follow the PSAR down, and we currently have it set at 108.26. So we've got 69 pips profit locked in on our second half. Not too shabby. The weekly spot gold setup was looking a little iffy earlier in the week, right down here, but looks like it might close above the triangle. Let's clear that stuff off right there. It's sitting right at the top of the triangle right now. It's got a few hours left, so we may be all good here. Sometimes this happens after a hard 1.5 month move up like this right here, that we get retracement. So that's expected. The market's got to breathe every now and then. But I will take the loss if we get a close back inside the triangle. The weekly Bitcoin bullish wedge setup triggered last Friday, right here. And I went long at 81.80.81 with the stop at 64.25.47 and the target 93.51.04. Still moving nicely, with a little weekend pullback right here. I mentioned the Boston Beer Company setup from December. That actually triggered yesterday, right here with the close above the triangle. I've taken this one long just ahead of yesterday's close at 385.80, a stop loss of 372.21, a first target of 394.86. Casey recorded a video of him taking this trade in his options platform, and I'm going to share that with you right now.
Now, this is a trade that Tim Black has got me onto, and he wanted me to show you guys how to do this with options. We're just going to do this real quick, show you exactly how it works, and see if you enjoy it. I know you can trade this however you like, using Tim's strategy, but Tim just sent me this. He was talking about it yesterday's video. Today it crossed up. The market's getting ready to close. You can see we got a nice move up here, and so we So I'm going to go ahead and take this trade, and I'm going to do it with options. So we have the $387 is the current price. The market's closing in a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and take this before the market. The way that we do the target, and Tim will follow up with me on this, so you guys know, but it's just one ATR, right? And so one ATR, the way you get that is you look at the ATR down at the bottom, and you can see that it's 9, and then you just subtract that by the price, or add it to the price, and that's how you come up with your target. So the target's about $399. So I'm going to buy an option with the goal of taking my first profit at $399, $398. So let me go ahead and pull up my trading platform. So I've got my option in here, and you just bring up the symbol and you put the price in, and I'm buying it around my target, which is right around $400. And if I can get it up to that point, the price of this option, which is $11.40, will go up. But the point about buying options is it's a leveraged buy, and instead of paying for 190 or the price of 387, I'm actually buying it for 1140, and you get 100 positions per contract. So the way that I'm going to play this is I'm going to buy 3 positions, which is about a 2% risk, which is what Tim recommends, and I'm going to target this area here, 398. I'll just draw a little line here so you guys can see it. This is going to be my target right here, 398, 1 ATR. And with options, you only risk what you can afford. So in this case, I'm just risking the 3,400 because that's around just under 1%. And so the total will be everything that you risk, right? So there's no actual stop loss. You're just risking everything on the trade. If you don't hit it, it will expire, right? So you either win or you don't. And so that's something you're going to have to really play around with to figure out the money management on this. So anyways, when this price gets to my target at $399, I'm going to close half of it. Or in this case, I have 3 contracts because you can't really split 3 in half. So I'll close 1 contract and leave the other ones, the other 2 to run to further gains if it looks like it has momentum. Okay, that's it for this. I'm going to go ahead and send this through, and we will go ahead and keep you guys updated as the trade progresses. Thanks.
Before we talk about the Planet Fitness trade setup, let's talk about how mindset affects your trading. Why do I stress trading psychology? Why do I preach the trading maxims over and over all the time? Why is your mindset so important when it comes to trading? As with most things, each of us handles our emotional intelligence in different ways. It's unlikely that I can tell you how to handle yours, and also unlikely that you can tell me how to handle mine. That's the reason I say that you have to know yourself. You have to be able to function in amongst a huge range of emotions and still get the job of trading done. You need to know where your mind is going at all times to know whether you need to take a day off from trading or whether you can handle it properly. Perhaps you can compartmentalize your emotional issues like I do. Just so we're on the same page, what I mean by compartmentalizing, if I have an emotional issue that's bothering me, I can put it in a little mental box and close the box so it doesn't bother me until it's time to take the issue out of the box, examine it, and deal with it. That sounds nice as long as you always take the issues out of the box and deal with them at the proper time. In the past, I have left things in the boxes for way too long. Now, I'm sure that's an oversimplification of how my mind works, but that's how it feels outwardly to me. Some people just have to throw things and break things to get the emotion out of their system. You need to understand what works for you so these things don't crop up in the middle of your trading and cause emotional mistakes. I'm going to recommend that you take the time to read a book that I reread a couple of times a year myself. It's called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Reading that was a revelation in my trading. It's well worth the time. I'll put an Amazon link below the video if you want to take a look. Okay, time to take a look at the Planet Fitness trade setup. As most of you know, Planet Fitness is a chain of fitness centers. You know, the chain whose price is so low, even though we never go, we keep our memberships to feel good about ourselves, right? Yes, I have a Planet Fitness membership. No, I can't remember the last time I went. But my daughter has a membership as well, so I probably went with her the last time we went somewhere together. Anyway, I've been watching this weekly trading range for a very long time now. I'm bringing it to your attention because the price seems to be attacking the upper resistance level of the range. Of course, a trading range consists of a strong support level, like this one around $57, that's been tested a few times, and a strong resistance level, like this one around $82, that has been tested a few times as well. The decline in volume has been slight, but is still there. And of course, the volatility has been declining for many weeks now. Here's the trade plan. We will buy a weekly candle close above the range or above $82, or we'll sell a weekly candle close below the range or below $57. On the breaking candle, to open a full-size position, we want the volume bar to reach up to the volume average right here. If it doesn't quite reach the average, but does reach at least 75% of the average volume, I'll open a half-size position to reduce risk. You can calculate the average by taking the volume number here and dividing it by the volume average here, and you should get at least 0.75. If you don't get 0.75 on this, stand aside on the trade. From now on, I'll be taking all weekly signals with daily targets and stops like we talked about in Wednesday's video. So when you get the weekly signal, drill down to the daily chart to look for the ATR. So click up here on the D for daily. You might have to use this pull down. I have it set as a favorite and select one day. And then on the day the weekly candle is closing, take a look at the daily ATR, which right now is this $1.39. Now I continue to watch these on the weekly chart once I get my daily ATR. So your stop loss will be 1.5 times the daily ATR, and your first target will be 1 times the daily ATR. So once you get your daily ATR, let's say this candle closed up here, there's your entry point. You will measure 1.5 times the daily ATR behind the candle for your stop loss, and 1 times the daily ATR above the candle for your first target. And of course it will be just the opposite if it actually breaks to the downside. Like I say, when you start managing this trade, keep watching it on the weekly chart, because if you get a weekly close back inside the range, you'll want to take your loss right then and not allow it to hit the stop loss. Our intention is that a breakout of the range should be explosive and hit our target fairly quickly. If the momentum goes away, we want to shut the trade down without taking a full stop if possible. When the price hits our first target, we will close half the position for profit and set the stop loss to break even on the remainder. We will then follow stops as price moves in our direction until the market takes us out. Now, these two rules are the very definition of cutting your losses and letting your winners run. Typically, I do this using 2 positions. The first position has a stop loss and a take profit. That position will close automatically when the first target is hit. The second position will only have a stop loss, and that's the position that will be allowed to run. When the first target is hit, we will have to manually move our stop loss up to break even on the second position. I will only risk about 2% of my account on each trade, and that's the setup on Planet Fitness today. Remember, my intent here is to tell you how I manage these trades. If you've already got a good trade management plan, please use it. Things that work for me may not work for you. You have to understand your own mind to find the best strategies for your trading. And that's my intent for the trading maxims, to help control my emotional impulses and keep me on the straight and narrow path. A maxim is a general truth, fundamental principle, rule of conduct, or proverbial saying. The purpose of my maxims is to motivate me to discipline in trading as well as other areas of my life. I suggest you start your own list of maxims, things that you can say to yourself while you're trading or doing life to make sure you always do the right thing. Feel free to borrow from my list. And today we've got a brand new trading maxim. Tim's Trading Maxim number 66. The chief cause of unhappiness is trading what you want most for what you want at the moment. Do you get this? Here's an example from my own life. I want to lose a huge amount of weight so I can do the active things I love with my kids and grandkids. But there's this huge chunk of cheesecake sitting on the counter right over there. Do I trade my desire to be in shape for my grandkids for the momentary satisfaction of the cheesecake that will be gone in 2 minutes? Well, obviously I shouldn't. And if I do, then I start feeling unhappy with myself. I know that if I stick to my diet and exercise regimen, I can eventually have a piece of cheesecake without affecting my other desire. But if I can't control myself in the moment to stick with my program, then that's a problem. That's one of the roots of unhappiness. Do you guys find yourself doing these things? Well, stop it. I know it's not that easy. But here you go. Let's spin this right back around to trading. Take the time to test your strategy. Take the time to be sure you have the right mindset. Take the time to get your life balanced. All these things are important if you want to be a successful trader. Remember our weekly Planet Fitness trade plan here. We're going to buy a weekly candle close above the range or above 82, or sell a weekly candle close below the range or below 57. If the volume is not quite average, go half size as long as it's at least 75% of the average. Your stop loss is 1.5 times the daily ATR, and your first target is 1 times the daily ATR. And remember to click the link below to the trade management video for more details. And sign up for my free Trading Picks email list to be sure you don't miss any of these great picks. I send out about 3 or 4 trading picks a week from all different markets, and you'll get to see them first. And the best thing is, free. I'll put the link below this video. Be sure to come back to Trading Strategy Guide's YouTube channel every week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time for my new videos. Don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have. I'll either answer your question right in the comments or in a training video, or both. And remember, the only stupid question is the unasked one. And be sure to read the description below the video, because there's a lot of cool stuff listed in there that you may like to take a look at. Remember to jump over to Wednesday's video, like it, and tell me in the comments what you think about doing a short series on how to test your strategies. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up below. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.